I crack open the drink and then I just simply put it right back down.
Yeah. It's like, I got to get this thing open. You got to have it ready for later.
You got to have it for later.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back. It's a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odem, and I'm your host. I'm very sick of J.O., but you know what? The grind never stops. And I'm joined because it's a special episode. We do this every year. It's the Academy Award episode. It's the Oscars. So you had to bring in the big guns.
Yeah, that's me.
We
I
have
am the big guns.
Previously, you've been on the show a number of times. You're a 2024 Guest of the Year nominee. He is our resident movie expert, among other things that you're an expert in. Grant Pearson.
Hello. How's everyone doing? Good. Glad to hear it.
Just Johnny responses. They don't actually talk back to you here.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. Like we're recording this, and then it's what do they call it? Tape to live or something, live to tape or
yeah,
whatever
sure.
they call that. But no, man, thanks for coming. Thanks for making the
happy
trip.
to be here.
He doesn't. We don't live in the same town anymore. It's been a long time since we've done that, and but you make the trip, and I appreciate it. And it's always a fun time to have you here. In fact, your episodes tend to do some of the best numbers.
I'm the big guns, like you said.
I said.
It's just I come in and I bring a dedicated fan base from my nothing that I do.
Yeah, your nothing tends to have such a cult following that people want more. They're craving more.
I'll have to start a podcast so I can promote my podcast on your podcast.
Yeah.
And then, then I'll have something to actually talk about.
Yeah, it's always good to have something to promote. We'll get to that at the end.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't have anything, but you never know.
We'll talk. We'll see.
If I do cough a little bit throughout this, it's okay, guys. It's okay. I'm on the rebound, and I'm a recovering influenza A patient, so we are good.
Yeah, we're only like a couple feet away from each other, and if you cough, it's directly into my face.
This is like, oh man, 2020 would be really pointing the finger at us right now.
Yeah, this is dangerous stuff that we're doing. But I take the risks for the audience.
Yup. I brought up that you were a Guest of the Year nominee. I don't know. Did you know
Yes,
you were
I did.
nominated? Okay.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay.
I followed that.
You did.
And then I found out that I didn't win.
Right.
And I decided to cut all ties with you for
a
months.
while.
And I was upset.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in myself more than anyone. And I was able to rebound back from it a little bit and make my way here to try and get into the 2025 running.
See, we had all the nominees, right? And Lavetti Vegas won. But of the people who didn't win, your name is the only one that came up that was like, what the hell? Why didn't this guy win?
Really?
Yeah. So it was closer than you think. And like I said, people do very much enjoy your episodes. You bring a lot to the table. And I look forward to you getting past the fact that you didn't win and bringing your best effort in 25.
Yes. It's an honor to be nominated alongside such distinguished people as Lavetti Vegas and Eric Larson.
Eric Larson, yes.
And then, what was it, Kyle?
Kyle,
yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't remember. There's a fifth one.
Jake Silverman.
Okay.
Yep. He's a comedian out from New York.
Okay.
Yep. Great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's touring the nation. Actually, go check him out. He's touring the country right now. So
Yes.
there's lots of dates.
Jake Jacobson is...
Jake Jacobson. That's almost.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. But we got a lot to cover. It's the 97th
Jakers.
Academy Awards. We're going to get to that. Grant's going to break them down. Grant watched every single one of the Best Picture nominees, as he does, and he's going to break them down for us, among other things. But before we get to that, dude, SNL 50 just happened. You and I are both big Saturday Night Live fans.
Oh, yeah,
Always have
absolutely.
been.
One of my favorite shows.
Like what? I know we were like, it was one of those things where Friday night they did the musical, they did like the big concert, which was cool, and I'm shocked it was just on Peacock.
Yeah, did they re-air it on Saturday night?
I think they re-aired it, yes.
On NBC,
But
which
at
is
that
probably
point-
good because they had some stuff to edit.
They did. They all right. Maybe that's why it was just on Peacock. You're right. They did have some stuff to edit, but incredible show.
Yeah.
Incredible lineup. And you text me, and I couldn't immediately watch it. I had to watch it later. So it was like one of those things where it's like, are you watching this? Holy cow! Like if your jaw doesn't drop, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's when Lauryn Hill and Wyclef came out. I just was like, what? How are these guys together? I'm like, it was amazing to see that. The Lonely Island performance, I was a big fan of.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Sandberg, and I don't know how many people, a lot of people I know listen to the Lonely Island podcast with Seth Meyers. Awesome show.
Yeah, it's like the only podcast I listen to.
But you can tell yeah. Here we go. You can tell he gets kind of nervous.
Yeah.
In front of people, even though he's a hell of a performer.
Yes.
And to watch him, especially knowing who's in the audience, man, he put on a show.
I think they started it beautifully with the Lady Gaga trying to sing the Shallow with her, and then, jumping right into the joke of him not being able to sing, and then her calling him a bitch and moving into Dick in a Box was
perfect.
It was perfect. It worked out very well. I like the call out that Justin Timberlake wasn't there.
Oh, he's got the tour.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was great. There was the what else was there even during that show? There was so much that happened.
One could argue him showing up to SNL 50 would have helped the tour.
Yeah. Yes. If you ever get the chance, you need to go find when Andy performed Dick in a Box live at Madison Square Garden with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I need to look that up. Yeah.
Yes, you need to look that up because there's a big story about it in when they're going through that episode on their podcast. But basically, the long story short is his ear monitors fell out, so he couldn't hear himself or the music or anything except for fans. And he sang terribly. So you got to go look that up on the YouTube. So that's my thing that I'm promoting for today. Then
that's your promotion.
That's
I love
my promotion is the Lonely Island on YouTube. Yep. Find Dick in a Box live with Justin Timberlake
and their podcast, the Lonely Island podcast with Seth Meyers. That's you. You're promoting. You're fulfilling the destiny of promoting another podcast on the podcast.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, people are already listening to this one. They know I don't need to promote this anymore.
So the concert was incredible. How about Nirvana?
Nirvana was unexpected.
They're going to tour, right?
That's what the rumor is. I don't know. Post Malone's got so much stuff going on.
He does.
Between his own tour, his country album, Oreos, he's got everything in the world happening right
Oreos,
now. Bud Light commercials with Shane Gillis and Peyton Manning.
He could do 5 dates, big stadiums across the country.
Oh yeah,
just like Kurt Cobain thought it would always be. Like.
Yeah, they could just perform, like the Oasis tour and just hit a few major ones for a couple of weeks and then call it good.
Or it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up headlining like a big festival or something.
Oh yeah,
and doing a 40-minute set.
End up at a Bonnaroo or a Coachella or one of those types of things and just come out. Yeah,
that's probably more likely. Yeah, if they do something live, that's where it's heading. But it was still pretty cool. It sounded awesome. The haters can hate. I mean, you knew people were going to hate about it when people were mad that Linkin Park was back.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's just kind of how it is.
It's just a thing, and if they do it, it's because they want to perform those songs again. And Dave Grohl really needs to get back into the positive light on the public eye.
This was like the perfect way to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for him. Well, yeah, they had the big concert Friday, the show on Sunday, which was hilarious. I didn't know if it was going to be a clip show, kind of a best of, just a bunch. I mean, I'd say, or was it just going to be a bunch of cameos? And that's kind of what it was.
It was.
But they had original sketches.
Yes, they did.
It was incredible. The writing, John Mulaney's a writer, and then getting to do one of his famous things, which is the big musical number.
And I think it was better than like the last 4 musical numbers that he's done. The first one that he ever did with Les Miserables was great. And then they kind of steadily took some steps down because I think that they just had like, well, we have to do this now.
Yep.
And so they'd figured out. But for SNL 50, I think they did that perfect.
They went all out. Sabrina Carpenter needs to host / musical guest
Yes.
immediately.
Yep.
She's shown that she's a bigger star than just music.
Yes, absolutely.
And what's that recurring character that was in her sketch, the Ronaldo or
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
He's at the wedding. I'm the Ronaldo.
No, it's
I'm the Ronaldos. I'm the Menendez brothers. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That character's really growing on me.
Yeah. Oh, what is his name though?
I thought it was funny at first, like the first time I saw him, and I'm like, okay, this is a funny character. And now they've started to like, and the bit's funny too because it's a really good singer who's in it, and she's singing off key. That was awesome. But then now they keep doing it, I don't know, I'm into it because it just kind of keeps evolving.
Yeah, no, it's everything has been just fantastic with that. I was looking at my phone. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, no, did you? I noticed. I can fill space. Did you happen to find the
Domingo?
I'm a Domingo.
Yeah.
Is that how he says it?
I don't think he says it quite like that.
I'm a
but
Domingo.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot the name Domingo.
Yeah, it's.
Well, you do know that one time at Sabrina Carpenter concert, he actually came out as Domingo.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Because they're maybe dating those two.
I hadn't heard that, but good for them.
I had heard that. I don't know if it's true. I mean, who knows anymore?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Domingo. That character is fantastic, and look forward to more from there. But man, what a show!
What a show! I think that they did everything that they could to make it as what it was. I know that there were some complaints that they didn't delve back into like the 70s and 80s as much, but I think that overall they went with what was going to work in these times now.
Right.
I think that they brought back characters that were still 25, 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, which is a lot to ask from an audience.
Yeah. And you had your guy who will, I guess it's kind of like in his contract now that he has to reminisce about his friends, Adam Sandler. He sang a beautiful song about cast members that, yeah, it was just an awesome show. I wish Bill Hader was there.
Bill Hader apparently had a different conflict going on that day, which
I think he was just nervous.
There's the rumors that he has a lot of nerves going into the live shows and that he just couldn't do it.
This would have been a tough one. Yeah. Jack Nicholson's in the audience.
Yeah. When Jack Nicholson is there, it's a big deal. Meryl Streep was there.
Meryl Streep. What do you think about the complaints that Meryl Streep shouldn't have been in a sketch because she's never actually been on Saturday Night Live?
She's Meryl Streep. She can do what she wants.
I agree with that. Yep. And she was hilarious in the sketch.
Yes. Yeah, I don't care that she's never hosted. She is connected to everybody in show business. She is well loved by most everybody. She's been nominated for an Oscar 1,000,000 times. Yeah, if she wants to just show up for a random cameo,
you let her just show up.
You let her do that. If she calls you up and says, "I want to be on SNL," you let her do that. That's right. One of those things. If Steven Seagal called up and said, "I want to do a sketch," they would say no.
They'd say no.
We're good. We're good.
And it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
She's dating Martin Short.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
And they got COVID from each other.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's so weird to think about. Like, I'm not against old people dating or anything. I'm fine with
whatever. You're old people should never date.
No, I'm thinking that they're both older, and it's just so weird that they ended up together.
Right.
Like it just seems like their paths haven't crossed that much that I can think of. And to see them together, it's like, oh, that's just so weird.
Yeah, now Steve Martin is the third wheel.
Yeah.
It's weird for him.
Because, Steve Martin, I guess, has been in a movie with Meryl Streep.
Has he?
Yeah, It's Complicated, I think that was with him and Alec Baldwin.
From like the 90s or something?
Yeah. And so, they have that connection. But, I never saw the Martin Short coming out of it. But, hey, I guess they're on Only Murders in the Building. Duh.
Yeah, they are. And they do a live show together.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about Meryl Streep was on it.
Oh, Streep. Oh, yeah. She was on the show.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah. Another thing. So, all these stars are in town in New York. I guess Saturday night, actually almost all week. Like you could go to the Comedy Cellar and pay like a $18 ticket and see just a crazy lineup. Like Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chris Rock, David Spade,
John Mulaney. Even I am so blanking on names today. The guy Nate
Bargatze.
Yeah.
Yep. Just crazy lineup. Crazy lineup. I saw Nate Bargatze here at the Funny Bone.
Oh yeah.
A couple weeks ago, working out material for his new stadium tour.
Oh really?
It was incredible.
Nice.
Hilarious.
Were you at the
a lot of DoorDash stuff?
Were you at the Aziz Ansari show?
Was not. No.
Oh yeah. I suppose you were kind of dying.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see he was popping in for a night, and I'm like, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. But,
Kyle texted. It was bold enough for Kyle to send a text message saying, "Is he really performing in Omaha?"
Yeah.
And Kyle never texts anymore, so that was a big deal.
At the Funny Bone as well, right?
At the Funny Bone.
Yeah, which is not a big club.
Not at all. No.
For someone of his stature.
Couple hundred people, few hundred people. Yeah. That's it.
All right.
And speaking of Funny Bone, I have announced on this podcast, I have a show coming up, Funny Bone, April 17th. I have been bumped.
You've been bumped?
I've been bumped. Guess who bumped me?
Aziz Ansari.
Frank Caliendo.
No. Oh, Frank Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo bumped me.
Fucking Frank Caliendo.
So, more to come. New date coming. Bumped by Frank Caliendo, friend of the podcast. Ridiculous.
Have you reached out to him?
Not yet. No.
Just reach out to him and be like, hey, can I be your opener? Yeah. I got a
doubt that would happen, but
solid 5 minutes for you.
I have a solid 30 seconds.
Just let me come in, do this. I was supposed to be performing. I'm sure that he will just do it for you.
He would understand. He'd say, well, as long as you're going to do do the Eggman stuff. Eggs are relevant right now. Okay, just for you, Frank.
Right now, yeah. Would you carry around an egg in your pocket in these days?
Well, shoot. I'd be afraid I'd get jumped.
I know.
That's the problem.
It's crazy times.
Yeah.
People and their eggs.
Yeah, people. I seriously, it's like having Jordans, like when Jordans first came out, you know?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. If I did have in my pocket, I sure as hell wouldn't want to tell anybody.
No. Yeah, the eggs, you buy them, you put them in the plastic sack, you put them in a paper sack, you put them in one of those DoorDash type bags. Make sure nobody sees that you have eggs when you're walking through the parking lot.
Right. It's kind of scary to even go to the grocery store now because people will watch you leave and then wonder if you have eggs.
Yeah.
And then just kind of stalk you.
They come up, they're like, hey, what you got in that bag there? Yeah. Got any eggs? Dozen?
Yep.
Baker's dozen? Do they come in Baker's dozens?
They do not, but they sure should. They should.
At this point, with the egg prices going on, just one more egg in there. Just one little straight carton and then a little tip at the end.
Eggs are so cool now that the cereal companies are going to start putting one egg in the bottom of the bag as like a free gift to get you to buy cereal. So,
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
So we're bringing up Funny Bone stuff, and I know this is going off topic a little bit. Louis C.K.
Oh, yes, I did. He's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going?
It's one of those things where I'm just so curious as to how this is going to work. Because
he's not going to drop his pants. He doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. But it's like one of those things where it's like you were canceled for a very specific reason that you admitted to. And he's trying to come back. And he's playing at the Funny Bone.
Yeah, he does a lot of
Because he's playing
clubs.
at the Funny Bone in Des Moines as well.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where it's just like the curiosity is going to get to me.
So here's where he's been. I don't know if you follow Louis anymore, but where he's been, he's still putting out a special a year, but he's doing everything off of his website.
Yeah.
Because no one would work with them. So he's trying to build that back up, you know? But yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. You know what? There's a good chance I'm going to it just out of morbid curiosity.
Still funny. I mean, he's still funny. He didn't not become funny.
Yeah. It's just a matter of he had a series of incidents in the past.
Yeah.
That
was kind of my thing. We always knew.
Wait, that was your thing too?
No, well, I got to really backtrack that one. No, like he was always funny. He was never not funny. He was funny before. He was funny after. You know, we all knew O.J. Simpson had charisma and was entertaining before he killed people and after he killed people. He just happened to kill people.
Yeah.
So you decide if that's okay with you, but still charismatic.
He could still plow down some people while running the ball.
Yep.
he just might murder a couple while he's doing it.
Right. He always would take a stab at it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna get into the movies.
The movies, what we're here for.
97th Academy Awards. Before we get to that, because I think it's funny. Not funny. It's not funny at all. Actually, it's quite serious. I think it's entertaining and like interesting to know your process, because you watch all the movies, and it's something. How many years ago have you and I been talking about this? Like watching all the movies, or when they used to do like AMC used to do like marathons.
Yeah, AMC used to do the marathon when it was just the 5.
And that was the dream. Like we were like, that is so cool that one of these years we'll do it. One of these years we'll do it. One of these years we'll do it. They expanded it. We never did it.
No.
Time, whatever, life gets in the way. You figured out a way to do it now.
Boy.
And it's difficult.
Yes.
But I'm so intrigued by this process. So like walk that through. How did you manage to do this?
So before the Oscar nominations came out, I had seen one of the movies, and that was Wicked. That was the only movie that I had seen out of the Best Picture nominees.
And that was a sure bet. I mean, it's not like, well, you were going to see Wicked anyway, but that was probably a sure bet that you were not going to want off the list.
Yeah. And then the list came out, and I'm like, okay, I already... This is part of my process, is that I just own every movie ever. And so I had Dune 2, and it had been sitting on my shelf forever. I'm like, I'm going to get to Dune 2. But first, I'm going to get to all these other ones that are in theaters still. So there's a independent theater in Des Moines, the Fleur Cinema, which I'll shout out to them because they bring in a ton of great movies. I was able to see some movies through them. After the nominations were announced, I actually watched Amelia Perez first, because it was on Netflix and just available to watch. And then I just started trying to just get through the rest of them.
Did you watch Amelia Perez before the lead ruined her life, or after?
Yeah, before.
All right.
Which... we can get into the specifics of Amelia Perez later, but yeah, and so there was a couple that were difficult in there. The Brutalist is a 3-hour and 45-minute movie with a 15-minute intermission in the middle of it, so it's 4 hours in a theater.
Wow, that is brutal.
Yeah, you can easily see 2 other movies in the time that you're watching The Brutalist. And that one was a hard one. Not because it was a bad movie by any means or anything like that. It's just that's a lot of time to sit in a theater.
It is.
So that was one of those things where I had to try and find a time to do that, because it kills so much of your day to watch a movie that long. That's the same thing with a lot of these movies. There's just the length. A Complete Unknown was long. Dune 2 was long. I mean, it's just a matter of trying to find that type of time to watch these. So mostly it's my first process is, okay, what's available on streaming, which was Amelia Perez, and I also watched Conclave on streaming. And then the rest of it's just ignoring my family and their needs.
That's the thing. He's got a full-time job. He's got a family, and he's still managing to watch all the Best Pictures. You're also not just watching those. You watch a lot of films throughout the year.
Yes, I do.
What are some of the films that you did see that are certainly not on this list that maybe you liked, want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, no. So we were talking about SNL 50 earlier. Saturday Night, the movie I thought was fantastic.
Great movie.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the Moneyball and Social Network and movies like that, where it's just a lot of...
Those are old, though. They didn't come out last year.
No, but I'm just saying... that kind of feel for a movie where there's not, so it's an hour and a half before the first Saturday Night Live, and it's just chronicling that, and it was just so interesting to watch. I thought it was a great script. I thought it was acted well. I think the people that were playing the character, or the people on the show, they did a great job. I think it was just all around a fantastic movie. I think it should have at least got something for screenwriting.
I'm surprised it didn't.
Yeah, I would have swapped it out with some stuff on the Best Picture nominees. But Civil War was great. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one. Alex Garland put together this great movie.
Oh, that was the Avengers Civil War.
No, it was not the Avengers.
Okay.
It was not the Avengers. They just stole the name from the Avengers.
Hoping to get the Marvel audience.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
There's a movie called My Old Ass with Audrey Plaza. which was hilarious, and it's a coming of age movie, and it was just great. Juror number 2 from Clint Eastwood. That was excellent.
Okay.
I recommend anyone to go out and find that on streaming.
I've got that on my list of movies I want to see.
Yeah. And then this one, I don't know if it counts as 2023 or 2024. There's kind of some debate about that, but Hundreds of Beavers. Have you heard of Hundreds of Beavers?
I have not.
It is slapstick comedy.
Like we went to a club called that when we were in Minneapolis one time.
Yes, Hundreds of Beavers. No, it is hilarious. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe, with commercials. Like the Blu-ray, you can't even get the Blu-ray because it's sold out right now.
What?
It's just this little movie that was made for like $20,000 or something like that, and it's just hilarious. I can't recommend Hundreds of Beavers enough. You got to be in a mindset to watch something hilarious, though. That's just not. It's not. There's no dialogue in the movie, essentially.
Okay.
It's just this.
It's just hundreds of beavers?
There are hundreds of beavers in the movie, but you just got to watch it. You got to experience it. I loved that one. So those are kind of my ones. I don't know if Hundreds of Beavers would make it onto a Best Picture list for the Oscars. But things like Juror number 2 and Saturday Night, I would have liked to have seen them get something in there.
Yeah.
Those were very, very good movies.
So I didn't like I watched a lot of movies this year, but I kind of dove into like horror movies a lot more than normal. And so like for me, some of the picks that I really enjoyed that are certainly not anything we're going to talk about with the Academy Awards, like Long Legs.
Long Legs was great.
Very enjoyable movie.
There's a lot of people that didn't think that it was scary enough or things like that. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was well done. I thought Nicolas Cage was over the top in the right way.
In the right way, yes.
Because he can be a little crazy sometimes, but in this movie, he did it the right way.
That first scene gave me a jump scare.
Yeah.
The very first, like, open up the movie before the title credits. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
Smile 2, I thought, was the rare sequel that is far better than the original.
I do think it's better than the original. I'm not going to say that it's one of my favorite movies, but I did find it to be better than the original.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
What about Trap? What do you think of Trap?
Trap was interesting. So Trap was this concept that when you don't think about it works, but if you start to really dive into the logistics of how it all goes down,
it's not possible.
You're like, this is possibly garbage, but it's also entertaining.
Yeah,
I thought Josh Hartnett did a great job in his role.
It was good to see him in a lead role, and it was fun. It was entertaining, beginning to end. I was along for the ride.
Yes.
But yes, you do have to suspend belief.
On a lot of things. Yeah, you got to be like, okay, so people are going to make weird ass decisions and not. Yeah, I don't know how the movie would play out in any sort of real life situation. It would have.
But supposedly it's based off a true story, so it's like one of those things. Like how?
Yeah.
Loosely based off a true story. It's What's Inside was an interesting movie. Did you watch that one?
I did not watch that one.
All right, so kind of the premise is there's this guy. He's got a lot of money, or he's a scientist or whatever, and he's got these friends together, and basically they put this like cap on their head, and then they will stay. Their bodies are still there, but their brains and personalities will flip bodies with somebody else in the group.
Okay.
So then,
I think I've seen the trailer for this.
Yeah. One. So then they know, but then there's some things that could happen along the way that would cause issues, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that was a very interesting movie and kind of a different concept. The movie Don't Move was really good. This girl, she's got like a injection of something that's going to cause her body to completely shut down after X amount of hours, and these killers or whatever are chasing her down. Thought that was really good. Heretic. I can't believe you corrected me on my own podcast. Really good movie. Interesting. Thought-provoking.
And it has the actress who is in Companion right now.
Yeah.
Which Companion is fantastic.
Is it good?
I have to throw that out as 2025. We're getting into things.
Yeah. Quickly, Blink Twice.
Blink Twice was an interesting movie.
Very interesting movie. Didn't see the twist coming. Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't know. I just watched that recently. I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you definitely can think about it for a while afterwards, and it's going to change your opinion.
Exactly. So really thought about that one. And then the movie that I really enjoyed, was entertained from beginning to end, Y2K, jokes a minute.
Oh, you did see Y2K.
I did watch Y2K.
Good.
Really funny.
Yeah.
Especially those that really liked our SNL chat. They're going to love that movie.
Yes. And there's a cameo that don't get yourself ruined on the cameo.
Do not get spoiled. Yeah, it's worth it.
That is one of those things. It's like I saw someone compare it to when everybody starts appearing in the portals in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
They're like, that's how excited I got when this cameo happened.
Yeah, it's cool. Great movie. And if you're in your late 30s, early 40s, this is your era. This is a fun time. So Y2K, great flick. Check it out.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
All right, the 97th Academy Awards.
Yes, there's been a lot of them.
We're only 30 minutes into this podcast, and we are now getting to the awards.
Yes.
So, where do you want to start? We're going to break them down. Again, you've watched all the movies, so you kind of have a really good, kind of gauge on how they're doing. Because you can watch how movies are getting treated in other awards,
yes,
and other ceremonies, and just seeing who's picking up what and why. And then when you've watched the movies, you can kind of see, okay, but the Academy is going to congratulate due to this, and so it's kind of interesting to kind of see that flow and your perspective.
So basically, we'll go in. There's 10 Best Picture nominees, which is a lot to get through. It was about 900 hours of film, give or take. I didn't count exactly, but that seems about right.
How much of that 900 did you sleep?
I stayed awake during all of it, but Timothy
Incredible.
Chalamet was in a lot of that. He accounted for half of the movie time this year.
Isn't that wild?
So I think the easiest way is we're going to rank from worst to best.
Sounds good.
And on the bottom of my list, it goes to Amelia Perez. I understand the cultural significance of the movie, but it just was so... It was just so back and forth about what it was trying to do, and I didn't quite enjoy the musical aspect of it, really, and I think that there were some performances in there that were a little questionable. The script was a little questionable. Getting into the Best Picture race, I think, is mostly because of the cultural significance of it, which I completely understand and have no problems with that. It's just one of those things where I don't think that it necessarily is a Best Picture. Even though Golden Globes gave it Best Picture, I don't think it has the chance of winning this year. The only thing from Amelia Perez that I think will win is going to Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana. She carried that movie. Everything that she was in, it was her. So I fully support that happening, but the rest of their nominations, I don't think that there's going to be much for Amelia Perez.
They have a nomination for lead actress,
yes,
and she may have ruined her Oscar moment.
Yeah, she did. Here's the key thing is that if you're wanting to win an Oscar, you better go back and scrub your Twitter history or X history now.
Yep.
Because, that stuff gets found out and suddenly you don't have a chance at all to win.
She's unfortunately kind of lost not her mind. She just kind of lost her sense of professionalism to be put out in front of her colleagues.
So the fact that happened, I think, also ruined its chances for a lot of stuff. I think the stock on Amelia Perez just went down when that happened. So, like I said, Zoe Saldana, I think, will win still. But if she doesn't, you can blame it on
the backlash.
Carla. Yeah. So
that's too bad, especially when You look at actors, I mean, this has happened before, where leading up to the Academy Awards, you've had actors, actresses kind of implode from past instances and not get their big moment.
Yep.
And then sometimes you can slap the shit out of somebody on the stage during the show
and then you
still win.
Yes.
Ugh.
Well, those votes were cast well before.
That is true.
He slapped Chris Rock up there, and
so if you're gonna tweet hate, do it during the show.
Yeah,
That's
just
the
wait.
lesson. Yeah.
Wait until the show is happening, and then they can't do anything about it.
All right, that was if you're ranking from not worse, but just the least likely to win, or quality of film, I guess, for the best picture, or the one you least enjoyed of the 10, Emilia Perez, Dune 2.
Dune 2 comes in next, which is going to be my controversial pick out of all of these. I just couldn't get into it. Like Dune, the first Dune I was having struggles with, and then the second one just didn't do it for me. I know that this is going to be a shock to a lot of people to see it down that low, because it has really, really good reviews from fans, from critics. It just, all I saw was sand for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I need to see something more than that. There were some good performances in there, but at the same time, there are so many people in the movie that it's hard to care about any one of them. The entire time I'm wondering what Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya are actually doing together, but it's kind of just sporadic, and I don't know. It just was such a letdown for me. My wife actually, we were watching it at home, and she went upstairs to go to bed.
Oh, dang. She gave up altogether.
Yes.
So do you need to see Dune 1 to understand Dune 2?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But just, like I said, it just didn't do it for me.
I'm waiting to watch Dune 1 still, so I have not seen Dune 2.
I didn't see Dune 1 until Dune 2 was nominated.
Okay.
And even at that point, it was weeks later.
Yeah.
This was, one of those things where I wasn't necessarily excited about watching it, and nothing kept me going during the movie. I watched the whole thing, but that was just, and that was the last out of the 10 that I watched.
All right, Dune 2.
Next up, and we're getting into a space here between 4 and 8, where a lot of things are interchangeable, but the one that I have to put at number 8 is The Brutalist. The Brutalist is a 3-hour and 45-minute movie, and in the theater you get a 15-minute intermission, so you're in the theater for 4 hours.
So during intermission, because I haven't been a part of intermission in quite a while.
Yeah.
Probably since I've seen a live play.
Yeah. Yep.
Does it have the clock running down?
Yes, it does.
Good.
I had a 15-minute timer on it. I don't know. It wasn't a bad movie by any means. It just was so long.
She said.
But I think that it was well acted. I think it was well written. I think it was well directed. I think everything for it was good. Just the story itself kind of didn't hit me. I don't know. It was an interesting story, but it just didn't quite strike with me to be a 4-hour movie. So
yeah.
I think some of it could have been cut down and it would have been fine. But, with that, though, I think Adrian Brody is probably going to get Best Actor. Best Supporting Actor, Guy Pearce is nominated. I think he actually might be one of my favorite actors in the supporting role. But I think Kieran Culkin has just been winning everything for actor in a supporting role, so I don't think that it's going to be Guy Pearce. But if I had to choose one, I would actually go Guy Pearce myself.
It does kind of feel like it's Kieran's year, right?
Yeah, it's him. Unless he somehow starts to tweet a bunch of hate stuff.
I just don't see that coming.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think he's going to probably take that one.
That's pretty cool. Pretty neat for him and Jeremy Strong to be nominated together.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
It just goes back to what they had and how good that show.
Yeah.
What's that show called?
No, that's not that one.
It was on HBO.
Oh god.
It was like the last show that had appointment watching.
Yeah. I can't.
It was so good we don't remember it. But it was
Succession.
Succession.
That's right.
Great show. Jeez.
So
anyway,
Next up, A Complete Unknown. Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. I thought that it was a well-done music biopic, but I don't think it was better than any other one or worse. It just kind of was. I don't think it was a story that needed to be told necessarily. I don't think anybody was clamoring for it, but it was still entertaining. I mean, that's what you can kind of ask for out of a movie is this entertaining? And I think there was enough in there to keep it moving. I just didn't...
Bob Dylan's not dead, right?
No.
I thought so. I don't like it when they do biopics and the person's alive.
Yeah, it seems a little premature.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the end of the story? But on this one, they end the story still way back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't try and do current.
So there's time to do a part 2.
There is time to do a part 2. We can have more Complete Unknown.
Or we could call it Known.
Known. Yes,
Yep.
A Known.
A Known.
Coming in at number 6 and disappointing my wife is going to be Wicked.
Wicked.
I have nothing against Wicked. Like I said, the 4 through 8 here are pretty interchangeable for me. Just with Wicked, I don't think that it has the draw for Best Picture necessarily. I think it's a Best Picture nominee.
Absolutely.
I absolutely would have put it in as a Best Picture nominee. I just don't think it's the best movie of the year.
Right.
I think that there were great performances in it. There was a couple that were a little questionable. I love Jeff Goldblum, but I don't think that he was always right for what he was doing. But I love the guy. I think he's a great actor. I just think that maybe there could have been a stronger person for the part. I think
he's a big part of one of your favorite movies of all time.
Yes,
so
he is in the
do love
Jurassic
him.
Park. So, but yeah, I think just overall, it comes in at number 6 for me.
I'm gonna see Wicked. Haven't seen Wicked. Haven't seen Wicked strictly out of spite because of the promotional hype. I'm sure it's a great movie. I will watch it when it's on Peacock. It's just, I don't know. For me, it was like, okay, enough's enough.
Do you have Peacock?
Yeah.
I have Peacock too. I don't know if there's anything on Peacock I ever actually watch.
Oh no, I watch WWE events.
Okay,
and then I'll stream The Office as like a comfort show just to have on.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's not really.
Yeah, Peacock just gets my money every month.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I think my son will go back and watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine from beginning to end a lot.
Okay.
So he gets that on there. So
otherwise, yeah, I don't know that there's anything.
I did watch Conclave, I think, on Peacock.
Okay.
Which will come up
It
later.
is on Peacock, yeah.
Yeah, which that'll come up later. First, let's go into number 5, which is I'm Still Here, which I should have looked this up, but I believe it's Portuguese. So it's subtitled the whole time, but it is a fantastic story. Very well acted overall. The kids, everything in there was well done. I have no gripe with I'm Still Here necessarily. I just think that there were better movies.
Yeah. I see it's tough for me because I'll watch a movie like that and they're speaking Portuguese and I don't know what they're talking about, right? And then I have the text, and then I don't want to read it. So then I have a translator reading that from my phone so that I'm always a beat behind, because it's reading and then saying and then just odd.
Yeah. Number 4 is Nickel Boys, which nobody has seen from what I can tell. It's the story of a young African-American who was hitchhiking on his way to school, gets picked up by somebody who then gets pulled over by the police because the car is stolen. And so he ends up having to go to like a reform school.
Of course. And
it's in the 50s. And so it doesn't go so well for him. Because history, everybody, or currently, or history. But yeah, it's definitely it was a good movie. It was very interesting how they filmed it. They did it from the perspective of the character or at least the perspective of a character. So it wasn't like showing both characters talking at once. It was like from the camera was the person.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a fun watch. Or not fun watch. It was a tough watch.
Okay,
but it was fun in the sense that you got to see kind of things perspective in a different way.
If you want to end your Saturday night with just smile on your face, you watch the Nickel Boys.
Actually, if you want to end your Saturday night with a smile on your face, The Substance might do it.
The Substance will do it.
I don't know if it's for everyone.
Yeah.
I definitely said my son cannot watch this movie yet.
Not yet. No.
But that is my number 3 for the year, is The Substance. Out of the nominees here, Demi Moore does great. Margaret Qualley does great. Dennis Quaid just came in. He
Over the top enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that was going on in that movie was fantastic. And it's nice to see something that is horror getting recognized as much as it is at the Academy Awards, because that can always bring up something for down the line for more horror to end up in there, because there's a really good chunk of horror movies that are well done.
They're very well done.
And so it'd be nice to see more of those get in there. So
What a great movie. I did watch this one.
the one you watched.
This is the one I watched. Demi Moore, incredible. And I did. It was funny after getting through it. Then got to the end, and Kyle, big horror guy, he had seen this, and I texted him, I'm like, dude, it was really, really good. I thought the ending got weird. And he goes, that's my favorite part. Give me all the weird. And I'm like, I can see that.
Yes. That would fall in, definitely with your brother to want that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's plenty of great weird stuff out there, like Psycho Gorman and things like that, where it's just like, okay, this is great. It just was different.
Yeah. Great movie though. Worth watching.
Number 2, I'm giving to Conclave, because it was very, very, I keep talking about the acting on everything. Conclave was probably the most well-acted movie out of all of these on the list, as far as I'm concerned. Everybody in it did great. It's dialogue heavy. It is choosing a pope. It's not necessarily a great, interesting topic that you would think of for a movie, but it is. It was fantastic. I would watch it again without hesitation. This was the one on here as well my son started to watch. He is 12. He did not like it. He did say that there should be an explosion in there, and then I'm like, there was an explosion. You just didn't watch to it. Because there's an explosion in the movie about choosing a pope.
When they do the big puffs of smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
tough interview process to choose a pope.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like there was it's almost like Mean Girls, but Conclave edition.
Sounds about right.
But it was very well done. And then my number 1 movie out of all of these, and actually probably my favorite of the year as well, is Anora with Mikey Madison. To say she carried the movie is more than anything that you can, it's not enough is what it comes down to. She was fantastic. She should win Best Actress, and I would love to see that win Best Picture.
Do you think it will? I know you'd like to see it win Best Picture. You think it will?
I think that Anora is in the running right now for Best Picture. If I had to choose who I think is most likely to win, I'd go between Anora and Conclave. Okay. Not just because they're my favorite two, but because I believe those are the two that have been in award season talk and have won awards. So I could see those two being the ones that go through. So if it's not Anora, I would see it as Conclave. I just don't think that the rest of the movies have what it takes to be Best Picture. But that's just my opinion. But I think that that's where to go.
Yeah, Conclave to me seems to be the one that's on its path, you know, to win Best Picture. But I'm with you too. Anora's probably got enough of a resume. It's got a shot, but it does come down to those two right now.
Yeah, because Anora just won at the Independent Spirit Awards on whatever day ago it was from where this podcast posts.
Yeah, nobody knows other than John.
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Yeah, we'll just say last Saturday.
Last Saturday's relevant. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think that's the one that would go to. Now, if I had to absolutely choose what the Best Picture is, I would probably go Saturday Night for myself. I would watch that one again and again, but obviously it was not nominated in those top 10. I would have replaced Amelia Perez with Saturday Night, and then I don't know what I would have taken out for Civil War or Juror Number 2, but I would have liked to have seen one of those end up in there.
Dune Part 2, maybe?
Dune Part 2, yeah. I mean, but it's just so loved by people. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed. So
It's one of those things, too, where Dune Part 2 is getting the Best Picture love partly due to its dominance in some other categories. So,
yeah.
or at least it's like, I don't know about dominance, but I guess it's love in those other categories.
Yeah.
So,
well, because I know it didn't get Best Director for Dune 2, which was a kind of a controversy out there that some people thought that it should have, probably taking over for the director of Emilia Perez, or maybe even, I would say probably taking over for Emilia Perez. I think that would have been fine. I don't think that would have been anything bad to go with, but like I said, just not my thing.
well, you wanna get into some of the who you think is gonna take home some like the Best Actor?
Yeah,
I know we've kind of discussed some of them, but like Timothy Chalamet, he could have been nominated for a couple of movies, probably.
Yeah, no.
Why wasn't he? I mean, isn't that kind of one of those things where if you're in two of the biggest films of the year,
you would think that if he was so good in A Complete Unknown, you're like, why wasn't he good enough in Dune Part 2 to be nominated?
Right.
But I would argue that he was better in A Complete Unknown, and I haven't seen Sing Sing or The Apprentice to be able to comment on Coleman Domingo or Sebastian Stan's performances.
I am a Domingo.
So I can't really say whether or not those. I think that Ralph Fiennes in Conclave was fantastic. If he were to be someone that would win, I wouldn't mind that either. But I think it's Adrian Brody's to lose.
Yeah, it's Adrian Brody's night again.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. He fell out of the spotlight for a while.
He did.
Do we blame it on his thing that he did at Saturday Night Live?
I think so.
The Jamaican accent. Everybody's like, nope, not working with this guy again.
Which they did have a clip of during the SNL 50, just in their
in memoriam of things that they can't do anymore.
Things they should never have done. Yeah,
should never have done.
Sebastian Stan, my favorite role of his was when he played Tommy Lee in Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very good actor. You might just know him from the Marvel movies.
Yep.
But he gets out there and does such a good job in all of these different roles.
He does, and he takes on roles that maybe other people don't want. Like he just he's really good.
Who wants to play Donald Trump right now?
other than Shane Gillis, nobody.
Yeah. But that's the thing is he does all of these smaller movies, which I think he's able to do because of the fact that he is in the Marvel movies and being able to make money off of those. Then he goes and is able to do more independent stuff or small things that he can get nominated for awards for.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. So Adrian Brody, it's likely his night. Actress in a leading role, Mikey Madison.
Yes.
Is someone that you would love to see win it. Do you think she's going to win it?
I think she's going to win it. If she doesn't win it, Demi Moore for The Substance, I would love to see that happen too.
What a story if she won for that.
Yeah. And then Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. She did a great job. I don't think she did as good of a job as Demi Moore and Mikey Madison, but I think this one is Mikey Madison's to take.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I do hope Demi Moore wins.
Yeah.
Just for the story of it.
I would love to see Demi Moore get up there and win for The Substance. Once again, going back to the fact that I would love to see horror movies win more stuff, but also because Demi Moore has just been around for such a long time, and she came back and did this crazy, crazy movie and did such a good job in it.
Oh, she crushed.
Yeah.
All right. Are we doing supporting roles?
Let's do supporting roles.
Okay. Actor in a supporting role. I mean, we kind of talked about Kieran.
It's Kieran's.
Culkin. I mean, he's going to win that.
I don't even have anybody else written down.
I love every time. Edward Norton, doesn't matter what he does, nominate him.
Yeah.
In my opinion. He's
Edward
incredible.
Norton he's apparently a pain in the ass on set, but everything else he does is just so good that you want to hire him again. And then I did bring up Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. I think that if he won, I would be happy. He did just a great job in his role in there.
But give it to Kieran Culkin.
But it's Kieran's. It's entirely his.
He's going to drink so much champagne after that. It's going to be awesome. Actress in a supporting role. I don't think we've really gone over.
Well, I went over the fact that I think that it's going to be Zoe Saldana for Amelia
Right,
Perez.
okay. Yep.
I think that's the award that it will take home for the night. I don't know if it's going to get anything else. I don't know if it'll get song or anything, but it's nominated, I think, for 2 songs. I think that it's Zoe Saldana's to take. If anybody else were to take it, I would see it being Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, but I fully expect Zoe to take it.
I'm with you on that one. I do have a question though. If Ariana Grande, how many chairs will she need because her dress will be so freaking big? That's what I want to know.
She'll get a row to herself just to fan everything out.
Right. She's like the smallest person in the room, and she will have the biggest dress.
The biggest dress, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
That's exciting.
I would honestly like to see her get some. I mean, she's got the recognition, obviously. If she were to win, I think that would be a great story as well. Especially in my personal life, where my wife absolutely hates Ariana Grande, but loves Wicked, and then saw Wicked and loved her in Wicked.
That's tough for her.
Yeah, and it was a tough thing for her to admit to. So if she won an Academy Award for it, I think that would possibly break her as a person.
So she doesn't like. Previously, before Wicked, she didn't like Ariana Grande because she was holding the Pete Davidson breakup against her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I figured.
That's pretty much what's her life goes around Pete Davidson's romance.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I mean, that's for most of us, really.
Honestly, yeah. And there's enough to go around. Yeah. Let's see. Were we going to do director?
Director, yeah. Honestly, I don't know for director.
Yeah,
that's one of those things. I think that if Anora gets Best Picture, I think Sean Baker gets director. But I would like to see the director for The Substance get it because there was just so much crazy stuff going on.
That would be neat. I don't think it happens, but it would be awesome. That's who I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Probably Anora, though.
And then Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, just because he managed to somehow make a 3-hour and 45-minute movie. That's
strictly for longevity.
Yeah, he gets it for that.
The endurance on that guy.
And of course, do we want to talk about snubs?
Yeah, I've got a big ass snub for you. Why an original score did 9 Inch Nails not get nominated? Trent Reznor is a genius. Put together what is racking up awards across the world for his score in Challengers. Why is he not nominated for an Academy Award?
And
he's a former winner. Usually former winners get a little bit of the rub.
Yep. And honestly, I out of the movies that are nominated, which I have not seen The Wild Robot, so I can't tell you about that score. But if you include Challengers in there, Challengers is the only original score that I remember. I mean,
there you go.
That's the thing, is that out of everything else, it's not like I can think about the movie and think about the score. But if I think about the score for Challengers, I know what it was. So yeah, that is definitely a big snub.
That one's gonna bother me, and I'm sure it bothers Trent Reznor more. But that one bothers me because that was just. Sometimes you put together a product that's so good and it's so beloved by your peers and by critics alike.
Yeah.
And then you don't get it at the big prize at the end, or at least get named as somebody of the best prize.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go onto a podcast and you get such great numbers for it, and then you don't win Guest of the Year.
But at least you were nominated.
But at least I was nominated. No,
that's awesome.
I think no, I'm fine. But yeah, I think that is probably one of the bigger snubs for the year, was that one. I think that there's an argument for Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl to get something there. I don't know who I would boot out. Well, I know who I would boot out now based upon everything going on, but I think that would be Carla Sofia Gascon.
But that's strictly just based off, not performance. That's just based off.
If I had to knock somebody out of actress in a leading role to give to Nicole Kidman, it probably would be her.
Yeah. Wow.
I think everybody else did such a great job. I think out of the 5, that was the weakest for me.
How cool would it have been to see Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban walking the red carpet together.
Well, they might still be there. She's been, involved in the Oscars in the past. She's won, I think.
Yeah, she's won.
Yeah.
She will certainly be a presenter.
I don't know if she's a presenter, but I think she's a definite seat filler.
She's seat filler. She is one of the few people that get to have one of those. We're at the movies.
The AMC.
The AMC, like, come watch movies with us. Promos before the movie you're watching. So that's exciting.
Yes.
Not everybody gets to do that.
No,
Tom Cruise, it's pretty elite company.
It is, yeah. Once Meryl Streep does it, though, nobody can do it better.
No.
Yeah, Meryl Streep get in there, and thanks for coming to the movies. Now shut off your cell phones.
Everyone listens to Meryl.
I would love to see Meryl Streep do that. That would be great.
It'd be great if at the Academy Awards now they debut that.
Yeah,
she actually did make one. And
they just put up a screen that says "Silence your cell phones," and Meryl Streep is just staring at you.
Yeah, she doesn't say a word.
No.
We didn't even talk about Conan O'Brien's the host.
Conan O'Brien being the host, I'm excited for that.
I am too.
Conan O'Brien is a great performer, but also he is a great writer.
Yes.
People forget that. He's not just some host doing stuff. He wrote for The Simpsons during some of their best episodes.
Yep. Simpsons, Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. He was in there doing stuff.
And then all the years of late night. I mean, he's a hell of a writer.
Yeah. And that's what the bits that he has to do rely on quick jokes, quick delivery, and I think that he is going to be able to get in there and just conquer that.
Will we see a musical number at the top of the show from him?
I don't know. What are the odds on that one? What's Vegas
I have
saying?
not seen that. That's actually a good question because that is something he has done before. It's something, in a different award show. It's something he could pull off. He can sing.
Yes.
He can dance.
Yep.
He's, like you said, a great performer. I would love to see a musical number. That's my favorite when the Academy Awards, it opens with a musical number.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it needs to. Billy Crystal owned that world.
Yes.
I do believe it should always open. I mean, the monologue's great. The jokes, the roasting. That's fun. There's place for that. In fact, he'd probably do that too.
Yeah.
I want to see a big musical number.
Yeah, I think a musical number is a good bet. I think that if we're going to point out people he's going to make jokes about, I think that he will make a joke about Meryl Streep because she'll be there.
Yep.
And then after that, I don't know. It all goes downhill from there.
Let's see. I could see him. I could see him joking with some of the people who can take jokes, like Kieran Culkin.
Yeah,
somebody who can take a joke, who's a big name. He's not gonna have a joke about Jeremy Strong because I don't think he's a guy who could take a joke.
No, yeah, Kieran Culkin. I think that it would be fun to see him make a joke about Edward Norton because Edward Norton is sometimes self-aware.
Yeah, likely not though.
Yeah.
I don't see that one come back either. But I'm excited to just see what he has. I do hope it's a musical number, but Conan's a great host.
Conan will be a great host. I'm saying this now, but if he nails it, he can do that for years. He could be the Billy Crystal coming in and doing it over and over again.
That's what I thought Jimmy Kimmel was going to do.
Yeah. See, with Jimmy Kimmel, he did a great job. Don't get me wrong. He's no, I don't know, Billy Crystal. But, he's no James Franco, but...
James Franco. What a disaster.
Oh, that's one of the worst things that's ever happened that was what, Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway, poor Anne
James
Hathaway.
Franco, that was such a...
Because it did look like she tried.
She tried, and he maybe did...
Oh, I'm sure he did. It's just he's not built for it.
No, and his way of performing is so different.
Yep.
This is a guy who went on to do an arc on a soap opera when he was at his height. That's so that was a disaster. But not disaster will be Conan. I'm very excited. I remember watching Conan on the late night after Leno. I never watched Leno, but I always watched Letterman and then Conan O'Brien.
Well, the jokes were younger and it just kind of fit that age.
Yeah, so that was like every night I would try and watch those, and yeah, that was part of my growing up, part of my history is Conan O'Brien just doing whatever he did.
Yeah, I love Conan.
Yeah.
I just, rest in peace to him. His Tonight Show, that is, not the.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's hosting.
I remember when he was losing the Tonight Show, and I would make a joke on Facebook every single day about it, and Ashley started to get mad at me.
That's awesome.
I remember, saying that the temperatures in New York were going to get so cold, NBC executives were going to warm themselves up over the fire of Conan's contract.
That's great. Which they probably did.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. That was a terrible time there. But it was fun for me because I was on the radio at the time, so I got to make fun of NBC.
Well, yeah. Anytime you can take shots at NBC is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, I hope that people will take my list and dissect it, and I will end up being a meme out there for, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Why is Dune 2 number 9?
Yeah, that's gonna happen. But the thing is, it's interesting to look at. All right, who's gonna win this? You can actually wager money on this thing. You can find books that are, taking bets on this, or you can get into pools and, everybody, fills out the sheet and you can, place your bets, amongst your friends. But to have somebody who's watched all the movies and then hear them talking about it, now everybody has that.
Yeah. Well, I will say that every year, our families, we do a Oscar contest and who can pick the most to win. And I don't know the last time I won.
Yeah, but it's true. And I don't even know. Would you say that watching the movies makes it harder for you to pick them?
Maybe, because I start to get my favorites and I let that be some of what I pick.
That's what I think is the case.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I lose every year. It's been probably a decade since I've won.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
But I'm pretty. This year, the main categories seem pretty obvious.
Yeah, pretty locked in.
With the only thing that I don't know for sure is Best Director, and then I think there's a couple of options for Best Picture.
It's going to come to our pool is going to come down to that.
Yeah,
it's going to be the difference. I think we're pretty aligned here in the big ones.
Yeah, and then it's going to be what is the best documentary feature? Well, this website says this, so I knock it off.
I like to watch the trends. I like to see who's picking up awards heading into, because even 2 months ago, there's movies on here just raking at award shows. Some of them didn't even get nominated for this. And so it's tough. You kind of got to have to watch the case of, all right, who's winning as we lead straight into the Academy Awards to kind of give you the trend. Yeah. But it's fun.
I will do a shout out for my son really quick, because the one thing that he wants to win is Alien Romulus for one of the special effects ones, because he loves Alien. So I'm going to say that Alien Romulus will win its category.
And let's say a comedian presents that and wears the alien thing on their face.
There you go.
When they present it.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, just for the jokes.
The xenomorph headpiece.
Yep, that'd be amazing. Well, what do you got? Anything to plug? What do you got going on?
Let's plug Peacock having Wicked in a few weeks. Yep. Let's see. I don't have anything to plug. Last time it was all about Taylor Tomlinson, but I think she's doing fine right now.
She's doing. Look at that. She got the Pearson bump. So
yeah,
great job. She became a superstar after you plugged her last year.
Yeah, I need to reach out to her and be like, hey, this happened. The only reason you got a second season was because of me.
Yep.
So get me on that show with Thomas Lennon and Patton Oswalt.
Credit is due.
And I will get up there, and then they'll be like, make a joke, Grant. And I'll be like, I have no idea. I'm not a comedian. I'm not a comedian. Write stuff for me.
That's funny.
Let's see. Yeah. Otherwise, Hundreds of Beavers, I think everyone should watch. It's not for everyone, but everybody should watch it anyway.
On Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime with commercials.
Which is honestly the only way to watch a movie like that, I'm assuming.
No.
With commercials.
Yeah. And you don't even mind the commercials because you're so ready for the next part to happen.
Yeah.
So those are my plugs. Hundreds of Beavers. I guess Taylor Tomlinson we talked about as well. So After Midnight, you should watch that because it's still hilarious.
Well, the 2024 Guest of the Year nominee, Grant Pearson.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.